You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Vampire Diaries After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Vampire Diaries After Show.
And you're too late, darling, you give love a bad name.
Headshake. Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? Bing is for doing, and we are here doing our final AfterBuzz TV after show for this season's Vampire Diaries graduation episode.
I'm so sad. Who gives love a bad name, Elena?
Literally.
Yeah.
I am DJ Jesse Janedy, joined in studio by the lovely Kristen Snyder.
Hello, guys. What's up?
Giving you some Bon Jovi action. All right, let's get into this episode.
All right. By the way, guys, I have my Twitter up, so if you want to tweet me during the show, go for it, and we'll respond. It's at Cinematic Escape.
There you go. Wow. Talk about taking us on a ride.
All I can say is when the episode was over, I asked Jesse about 5 times. I was like, are you sure there's no more? There's no more. Are you sure there's not something else?
I mean, I gotta say, probably one of my favorite season finales out of this show. Mm-hmm. Couple more Buffy references this episode. Loved it. But I mean, I'm in shock just by I feel like it was a big party and no one's there to clean the mess up.
Yes.
Because I feel like it's just all over the place.
I absolutely agree. The only one who was cleaning messes up was Klaus this episode.
Yeah.
He was like the only one who came in handy.
They needed to add that in so that way we'd be so psyched to watch him as the main star on the originals.
Which I am.
I'm super excited.
Now when they just show him, I kind of melt. And I don't know why that is.
Well, you know what? Out of everybody, and you know what's funny is everyone at home is probably so happy. It's like the Super Bowl, like their team won with Delana.
Oh.
For me, the only
so
person that really won was Caroline.
Yeah. Actually. And Damon for the moment.
Damon for the moment, but the thing about Delana is there's still people attached to that love that are disappointed. With Caroline and Klaus, nobody's disappointed. They both kind of get it, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he had that great line.
Oh, my gosh. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, I didn't want to break it out.
Let's not break the epic
But Bonnie
moment.
did say, like, you know, she doesn't want anyone to know about her situation at the moment because everyone's okay.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess Matt's okay. I guess a lot of them are okay. They just don't know it that they're not okay, actually.
I mean, it was interesting how they started the episode off. It was like Stefan, Lexi, they were partying, having a good time.
And he was careless.
Yeah, you know, Damon was, you know, a little aggravated. He goes in and gives Elena the cure. Mm-hmm. Wants her to take it. And she explains that she wants it in the conversation, which was weird because I always thought she was kind of like overtaking the cure.
Yeah, but I guess now that this has been like the first episode in a while that her emotions are actually back on, I guess now she sees the value in taking it.
Right. We get all the hunters back.
Okay,
last week.
Wait, like, apparently when the veil went up, they just disappeared because that didn't really pan out, actually, the whole hunters game.
What do you
about them wanting Silas and the cure. We really never got the end of that other than the veil closed and they all went back.
Well, I feel like they were sloppy. in trying to get that. It's like they all split up and they all tried to like find their path to find Silas and the cure.
What happened to Connor?
And
he
it
was like
really didn't work.
orchestrating everything.
Yeah, it was weird. With this episode, I feel like there were a couple scenes that were kind of like cut and chopped, and they tried to fit everything into one episode. And I kind of feel like it was a little sloppy. I loved the episode.
Yeah, I did
but
too.
for Vampire Diaries, I feel like it was a little sloppy.
Yeah, because we had so many people coming back when the veil was lifted, and it kind of brought back all their storylines as well, and how all of them had something to come back to Mystic Falls that they weren't fulfilled with.
Right.
But I just felt like the Hunters, they were a great villain, like when they
It could have
came
been
back.
great. Like it could have been really big.
I feel like they were the only real storyline that didn't pay off this episode.
Yeah.
Because we had like Cole and the 300 at the graduation who was going to do something, and then Klaus stopped that. But I mean, other than Rebekah and Matt kind of stalling them,
Yeah.
and I don't really even get that plan why they had them.
So Connor calls Elena, says he wants the cure and to find Silas. We have Alexander holding Matt on a bomb with Rebekah there.
Right.
Which, by the way, Alexander has really great teeth.
And hair.
Just random thought. Vaughn shoots Damon, and Stefan rips his heart out. And we called it. We were like, can you kill someone that's already dead?
Not for very long.
Which also doesn't make sense to me, because here's my thing. Does the heart, like, grow back?
They become like sponges.
Is that what it is?
And
Like
the sponge grows back.
Those little pills that when you put them in the water, it just turns into like a sponge animal.
That, and I was also thinking, because like you can rip a sponge and it won't die.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Hunters are on this crazy little mission. Loved the whole Matt and Rebekah thing, with Matt standing on the bomb, and you know, kind of Alexander, who was being very lenient with them both being there.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't seem to be too jealous. Eventually, it got to him, the stuff that she was saying. Obviously, perhaps there were places where, the place in Italy, the wedding town, maybe that's where Rebekah and Alexander.
Right. We're gonna have their little-
Yeah, maybe that was where their future plans were, and that's why she brought it up. But, I mean, that date sounded awesome. They were going to Paris, and I don't even remember all the different places. But, yeah, someone take me on that date.
Right. You know, and I loved... Matt came up with the idea, I'm wearing the ring, so if I wear the ring, I can't really die, so I can step off of this. She said, all right, well, let's try it. She said, the first rule to being human is doing the one thing that you're most afraid of, and then they kiss.
She kissed him.
She
so
kissed him.
So obviously that was the thing she was most afraid of this whole time.
To take that step.
You know, and I think that's a great lesson to people outside of Vampire Diaries, just in life in general. You know, the only way you can really live your life is, you know, to do something that you're really scared of. Now, don't go jumping off any cliff. Not like that. That's not supported by
The views
AFTERBUZZ.
expressed here, those.
Exactly, not supported by AFTERBUZZ. But something less risky, where it's just kind of about your pride, putting your pride down. We talked about that a lot this season.
Right.
When it comes to putting your pride down and allowing the, you know, perhaps the situation to end in embarrassment or hurt, go for it. Like, we do only have this one life. So really, do what Rebekah did. Kiss that boy.
Take that moment. I mean,
that
you know,
moment.
here we are. It was that, especially because it was right at the end. It was like, okay, if he steps off this, he might die. If he steps off this, he's gonna live. So why not? Why not just do it? So she did it. She realized her fear was nothing. Obviously, Matt was in the moment because he didn't even feel that he was moved off of the thing.
Yeah, he was in the moment, all right. She switched places with him.
She switched places with him, told him to go to his graduation, which I thought was awesome because we all know that Rebekah wanted that graduation moment too. She wanted to just feel like a normal girl. I loved it. I thought it was a great moment. Loved that Rebekah ran off that, blew up that whole situation, and the writers kind of just wrote off Alexander right there.
Yeah, I guess he died temporarily for a moment.
Then we got the whole Connor versus Alaric thing in the bar, which was kind of still, kind of fell flat.
That storyline, I don't really know. all of a sudden they were in the bar and he's like, no, you're not going to blow up my bar. And then he chased him out or something. I don't know. Or else did he die? Because it did seem like there was a little explosion there. I mean, he died temporarily.
Right in the back with Alaric. But if Alaric came back...
But because he had that bomb on, well, they only do die temporarily, so maybe Alaric took him
somewhere.
Yeah, but Alaric kind of had that vampire super run.
Because he was the hunter.
Right.
So he had that. He
has that.
So the werewolf venom's hurting Damon from the gunshot. Jeremy comes up with the brilliant idea, take the cure, which I think people at home who have read the books, apparently Damon takes the cure in the books. So I kind of felt, oh, here's how they're going to make Damon take it.
And the irony of that was so strong because he's been fighting for this cure the whole time, but not for himself, for Elena. So it still would have been pretty epic if he had taken it.
He was like, hell no, takes the cure, gives it to the hunter. Vaughn, and then takes Vaughn to go find Silas.
A little red herring.
Yeah, which we find out Silas wasn't even...
in the quarry.
In the lake. No, not at all.
But we thought he was.
Yeah.
As well, so it was red herring for the audience as well, because we don't get that reveal until Stefan says, actually, Damon hasn't had time.
There you go.
To bury the body yet.
Then on the other side of this, we have Katherine, who's threatening Bonnie because she wants her immortality. And it's like, well, girl, everything didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen. Sorry. So now Katherine has this vengeance out, which is interesting that Katherine and Elena have this such deep-rooted hatred. And it's almost like, I wish they could take that hatred and channel it into another feeling, because as a doppelganger, it's almost like a twin. So you would think that there would be a connection there. But that could grow really strong.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that perhaps now there will be. But the fact that Katherine blames Elena for having her life, for actually having everything she wants, and now she has nothing. She's so jealous of Elena in the past few episodes, and perhaps the whole season. But it was the cure that she wanted.
That fight scene between Katherine and Elena in the whole shoving the cure, I didn't expect that at all. No. I actually thought Elena was going to take the cure, but then in my head I'm like, if Elena takes the cure, then she's human, and then Katherine can easily kill her.
Right.
Great twist, guys.
I really
must say, that was definitely a bummer, because the other thing we said was maybe the cure could be given to Bonnie. To have her brought back to life. Yeah,
at one point, I think 40 minutes in, we kind of predicted the end of the episode. We were like, okay, so Damon doesn't need the cure, but can the cure someone who's dead? So we thought that they were going to give it to Bonnie. Elena would find Bonnie's, which I felt up until the last 5 minutes that was still what was going to happen. Because Elena was going to find Jeremy and Bonnie. I thought, especially when she came across Cole, that she was going to then stumble over Bonnie's body and give her the cure. But I don't even know where they put her body, because it wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, which I got to give a shout out to the writers of Vampire Diaries. In that moment where Elena went down and Cole jumped out and scared her, and then he's dead. I mean, the veil came up, so he disappears. And you're kind of like, oh, whoa, that was a nice little scare. And then she turns around and Katherine's there. I love that Vampire Diaries is putting this twist in. I fell in love with Vampire Diaries because I feel like the beginning episodes were kind of raw and, had that scary element. And then I feel like the scary element got lost for a while.
I agree.
And I'm glad that it's starting to come back little by little. I also love the epic superhero battles with everybody battling together. I like that stuff. So I'm very happy we've been getting that.
Yeah, it's been so much more well-rounded. It's not just this love triangle anymore. They bring in the scare tactics and those elements that put you on the edge of your seat and makes me really nervous and
that
scared.
That was a good scare today, guys. I loved it.
That was awesome. Thank you.
I love the moment with Stefan and Lexi as well, talking about that Elena is the love of his life.
And she said it was.
Huh?
She agreed.
Lexi said, yeah.
Yeah, because he's like, I think she was the one. And she said she was the one.
But even before, when she said to her, would you ever go back to her? He said, I would go back to her in a heartbeat. Oh, and we were just all melting in our hearts, like, oh.
But like, I think a lot of us would go back to our first love. At least momentarily.
No way.
The thought has crossed your mind at one point or another.
Let me go back to my first love, and there'll be a battlefield.
I mean, but never.
I mean, if it was like Stefan, maybe, but like, no. I mean, Stefan and Elena had like an epic love.
Right.
Not everyone's first love is like that, or you've moved on. And just like Lexi said it best. You're going to meet that person that makes you feel that way. And I always say, if you have that strong of feelings for somebody and they can't give that to you and they give it to somebody else, then I don't doubt that you had really strong feelings for that person. However, imagine the feelings you'll have for someone who actually gives it back.
I mean, that's a good point.
So to me, is that really your true love? No, I think it was exactly what Klaus said. That was your first love. And everyone has their first love, but you need that first love to learn the mistakes and, you know, all the little dents in the road to find your final love.
Right. I mean, I think you can have more than one epic love, which is what they were saying. But yeah, she was the one, but there will be another one. And I know, like, you think that there isn't going to be one, but there will. And yeah, I'm looking forward to my next one. Anyway, a couple people on the chat.
All right, getting deep. Welcome to the Vampire Diaries love chat with Kristen Snyder.
No. Anyway, a couple people are trying to call in, guys, in the booth. So I don't know if they're trying to call in. They said they weren't able to, so maybe to look out for that. We have
Any
Jennifer. Yeah, we have Jennifer asking, do you think Stefan always had trouble with human blood was because of Silas? Is this...
That is a great point, actually.
Good point, Jennifer.
Yeah. That was another shocking one is that Stefan is randomly the doppelganger.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I mean, not only, maybe Elena and Stefan are supposed to be together because they have a doppelganger.
Oh, that could come back in the twist.
There's a shadow? What?
It doesn't make sense to me, and I really can't wait for next season to hear what that explanation is.
Because is that why Elena is...
Because Elena doesn't have a real brother or sister. I would think it would be like a single person, so maybe Stefan and Damon aren't really brothers. Like, I don't know. It's just weird.
It is. That's a great question, Jennifer. Thank you.
I kind of actually really do wish that the doppelganger was another Elena.
Yeah.
Because if this girl played 4 characters on the show, that would just...
But that would be...
Dang, girl.
Wait, okay, we have a caller.
Caller, you're on the line. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, guys, it's Jillian.
Jillian! What up, girl?
How you guys doing?
Very good. What did you think of the season finale?
I was so happy. I love seeing, Lexi and Alaric, and of course Jeremy back. I love Alaric just immediately stepping back into that dad role.
Yeah, my favorite thing about this episode was just having everyone back and seeing all the connections with everybody. Part of me wanted, like, Bonnie to figure out a way where the veil could be halfway up and keep some of the people there, just because it just reminds you of the feeling when they all were there, and it's like, this is going to be taken away from us at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So it kind of was a build up to a little sadness. But what was one of your favorite moments of the show?
See, that's the thing. This episode was so fantastic. I have an issue picking a favorite moment.
Was this your favorite season finale?
I thought was, huh?
Was this one of your favorite season finales?
Yes and no.
Oh.
Yes, because I love seeing everybody back, of course, and there were so many just little funny lines here and there. But no, because I don't want this thing to become like in every other season where Damon is dying because of something to do with a werewolf.
That is very true.
Because it was season 2, and now it's season 4.
What? And we're reverting back to that. Yeah. Were you surprised about the whole Stefan doppelganger situation?
I almost don't believe it. Only because, it just seems too weird to have two different doppelganger storylines going on. I'm almost thinking that since Silas can look like anybody he wants to, it could easily be the, Elena Katherine thing, and then he's just looking like Stefan so that he can easily jump into their lives.
Right.
Devin actually tweeted me and said, is Silas somehow related to Stefan and Damon? I'm hella confused about that.
Yeah, we are too. So we're all sitting in that same confused bubble. All right, and then as far as Bonnie, do you think Bonnie's dead for good? What do you think's happening with her character?
I don't want to think so, but I'm thinking since Jeremy can see ghosts, she'll still kind of be able to connect with the main storyline, but until if they can somehow bring her back, I think they will. I mean, she's got, so many people who are in that main storyline who I can see trying to bring her back, almost like Buffy's friends trying to bring her back after she died.
You know, what's really funny is, it's funny you brought that up because that was one of the moments in the show where I went right to Buffy. When she walked away with Grams, I thought, Bonnie's going to be the Buffy of the season. If they really fight to get Bonnie back, I could see Bonnie coming back and being a different person and kind of being upset that she was brought back because she had found peace and she was with her family. So that moment did actually give me a Buffy. You know what moment brought me back to Buffy that was I realized is kind of disappointing about the show? Graduation. Graduation was one of the best episodes of Buffy. It was such an epic moment. In Buffy, it always came back to the school, which Vampire Diaries tries to do. But for me, this graduation wasn't monumental. It wasn't like, I really didn't care. It could have been a mayor's speech. It could have been anything. The graduation thing just wasn't believable for me. I don't know. I wasn't... And maybe it was just me. I'm not connected with the characters as much as they were amping up, like, I'm so excited to graduate. It's finally time. Like, I don't know. And maybe I was in high school at the time watching Buffy, and so I could relate to that. And now I'm older. I don't know. What did you guys think of that? Jillian, what did you think?
It might be that they're trying to not homage it too much. Because, I mean, we have so many Buffy references in there, and I know that we love to pick them out and talk about them, but it's like, I don't think they want to be ridiculously obvious.
Right. Well, that's true, too. But I mean, with the end,
with the, the Silas Stefan putting Stefan into the safe, and then it's like, I don't remember exactly what season of Angel, but when Connor put him in the box sunk into the bottom of the ocean.
Right. Actually, you tweeted that at me, right?
Yeah, I did.
Absolutely. All right. So before we let you go, one more thing about the episode, or that you want to say about maybe the upcoming season, the new season, or the originals.
Okay. The thing that I found it entertaining about the show tonight is that they spent all season looking for the cure, and then it's like tonight was a game of hot potato.
Yep.
That's a great point.
I actually wrote it down. So. First, it was Alaric who took it away from Silas. Then he gave it to Damon. Damon gave it to Elena. Elena gave it to the Hunter. Then Alaric took it away from the Hunter, gave it back to Damon. Damon gave it to Elena. Elena gave it to Stefan. Stefan gave it back to Elena, and then Elena gave it to Katherine.
Dang. That is very true. Other than the fact that it was Elena gave it to Damon, and then Damon gave it to the Hunter. But... yeah, all those people, that sure was and I definitely did not see it going to Katherine.
No, I didn't see that either, but I think it's going to be really interesting because Katherine loves to compel people.
Yep. And now she's going to be...
like, she compelled an entire freaking town.
Do you think she's going to like playing, being a human? And my other question, actually, because I just thought, you know how it was almost a waste of the cure. Because Katherine could easily just find a vampire and turn herself.
But the thing is, she was the only one, I think, of all the vampires who never expressed an interest in taking it. It was always, I want to have it so I can give it to Klaus and get my freedom.
Right.
And I think, actually, I don't think she can probably turn yourself anymore after you have the cure. Because then you would kind of die, right? Or no?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's not like they have any frame of reference.
Right. I mean,
Good point.
Vampire Diaries is like, well, we'll decide that in 2 seasons from now.
Jennifer wants to know, how do you guys think Elijah will react now that Katherine is human?
Honestly, that popped in my head too. I think he would really like it.
I think so too, because now she probably won't be it.
Unless she's brought over to the originals, it might not become a big deal.
That's true too. I think that they wouldn't bring her to the originals. I think they would keep her more Vampire Diaries because they want to show the balance between Katherine and Elena.
Right.
I do see the two of them somehow forming a bond, and maybe that's the only way to kill a doppelganger like Silas is a doppelganger has to do it. That would be interesting.
Maybe.
Well, Jillian, thank you so much. I mean, you are like definitely one of our top fans, and we appreciate you and love you every single week. Spoiling the episode for me. No, I'm just kidding. Calling in and just being such a diehard fan. We really appreciate you. Give your Twitter handle out.
I'm at Jillian_Swan.
Yes, people. And if you are a Vampire Diaries fan, again, Jillian, what is your Twitter handle?
At Jillian_Swan, and that's Swan with 2 N's.
I'm gonna retweet her a couple times and friend her because we talk Vampire Diaries all week long. Jillian, thank you so much for calling in, and hopefully we'll talk to you next season.
Absolutely.
Bye. Going back to the Rebekah and Matt thing, I'm glad that it finished on such a good note. It was kind of weird that Matt didn't want to. It was kind of a weird note, but it was a good note.
Yeah, because he's like, I can't let you in. I would invite you in, but Tyler doesn't want any vampires in here. And then he's like, I don't want any vampires in my love life either, in my relationship. And I was
but I'll go on a trip with you.
What happens stays on the road.
Yeah, how do you think that's gonna?
After you go on an epic adventure like that, and he also said at one point, since you tried to take my life away, it's only right that you are the one who has to show me how to live. After someone shows you how to love or how to live, you're gonna fall in love with them. It's gonna be an epic adventure. Like, she's the first one who's ever taken him out of this town. He has no future. She's gonna be a part of his future, at least for a while.
I hope so. I mean,
sure.
we saw in the previews for the originals that her face is there. I know a lot of the fans are saying that she's going to go over to the originals.
Well, Matt has no future, so he can go.
He can go to the originals and have a damn future. Please.
And you know what? She'll probably always leave him voicemails from the original show.
Yeah. And again, hopefully, it's something that, all right, well, you go find your love, and then maybe one day we can be together.
Right.
We get the whole graduation thing. I love Caroline on the phone calling Klaus, yelling at him. We get there, and the whole, like I said, the whole Bonnie and Stefan graduating with them, so awkward.
Yeah, why was he there?
And as Bonnie's sitting in the audience, Cole's behind her, and he points out, the witches, the hybrids. 200, I mean, first of all, it didn't even look like there were 200 seats there.
Yeah, right. I think he said 300 too. I'm not even sure.
And
people died because of the expression.
Spread out throughout all these people are these supernatural beings who are just ready to attack. And again, great moment when everyone's at the end hugging each other and saying everything, and then the witch comes and kind of hurts everybody. And that was their way to bring Klaus in, which was a great moment. We all wanted to see Klaus give us that moment. And then the editing right there, and I get why it happened, but it was just kind of like a build-up to, oh, okay, we're here, all right. Because then the next scene, Elena's walking in a white dress, talking to Stefan. Can I talk to you for a minute? It was like, wait, well, what happened with the rest of them? Oh, we're just ending it like that? Okay, all right. And then it's dark where Klaus and Caroline, what were you guys doing at graduation after everyone left for the whole time? Now it's dark. Usually graduation's like around noon.
Yeah.
So they're just spending hours on the football field.
I guess.
I mean, I guess Caroline has to do her duties. And then we got our favorite moment of the episode.
He got her graduation announcement. Wasn't that so cute? He's like, were you expecting cash? And she was like, at least a mini fridge.
Great moment. And he said, I wanted to give you something that I knew you would accept.
Which wouldn't be the first class ticket to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. and he's gonna allow Tyler to come back, and then you're kind of like, oh well, we don't really want Tyler, but then he says everything that just makes you melt and makes you want Tyler to come back, because you know she's gonna learn all of her lessons through Tyler. He said, Tyler is your first love, and I intend on being your last.
Oh my gosh. Someone
We
please
literally
say that
rewound that so we could watch it again.
We did. And it was even more epic the second time because we weren't writing.
Because then we got to watch the kiss and that whole moment, and just Caroline like lit up, which was an interesting moment when Klaus said, and I intend to be your last. It looked like Caroline was going to say something. Instead of allowing her to say it, he went and kissed her just to have that moment, which was a really cool moment for us. Again, I think I love the writers for giving us the moment for Vampire Diaries, and I also love them for the originals, because we've seen Klaus up and down, and we kind of never know where he is. And that moment lets us know that in the originals, in the end, Klaus will prevail, and he will be good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it will all be because of Caroline.
We have to see the character arc. I mean, it's kind of like Breaking Bad. Like,
Right.
you start out, well, he started out good, and I don't know how he ends yet, but it transforms into bad, and then Klaus was like horrible, evil, and is slowly becoming more human and a nice guy that
I
we all
also
melt
think
over.
Klaus wants that bartender too in New Orleans, and was like, "Let me try her out for a couple of years,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I'll come back to Caroline."
I'm giving you Tyler because there's someone that I have my eye open on.
And if Tyler and you work out, and this works out, then I'll be fine with that.
Haven't you ever felt that way though, where you're just kind of
Kind of
like
in between, like, well, wait, don't
take a
go
break.
anywhere, but don't go. I love you. And you're trying to. Yeah, I've had that moment a couple times actually.
I think we all have.
And
It's
we
okay,
need to
Klaus.
edit that out of. No, I'm just kidding. Cole and Bonnie, they go down. I love the moment with Bonnie where she kind of explains to Cole, because that moment where she says, you know, I'm dead. Like, I want to live a life. I want to get a call. I want to go to college. I want to do all these things. Like, I don't want the veil to go up. And in that moment, it's kind of like, oh, well, Cole wasn't the bad guy. He's like, well, great. Like,
He's like, yes, let's do this
let's
together.
just do it. Yeah,
Let's just
homegirl.
keep it
Like,
open.
I was gonna kill your friends, but who
We can
needs
work
that?
together.
Yeah. And she puts him in his little box thing. Again, like Jillian said, there's no reference point. So it's like we don't know what Bonnie's powers are, what she's capable of doing, what she's not capable of doing. Because it's like, okay, you did this magic spell to make Jeremy stay alive. Why couldn't you have done a spell to keep yourself alive?
Yeah, I guess it doesn't work that way, but Lena's gonna be really happy to find out Jeremy's alive.
Yep, and also really sad to
You know
find
what?
out.
I feel like Jillian was saying, Bonnie's always gonna be in the show because Jeremy can see her.
It's not enough.
I know, but they were doing that to us this season. They would kind of just bring her in to fix things, and we only got a little glimpse of her, so we're still gonna see her. There's
Well,
gonna be
here's what I'm
something where she
afraid
can come
of,
back.
Because Kat Graham, who plays Bonnie, there were rumors of her being on set and not really getting along with some of the, executives or producers. And I know she has a music career, so I'm hoping, because rumor has it from a source that she was they were kind of threatening her, because there have been a few times where Bonnie was almost off the show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I'm wondering if hopefully nothing happened, or I'm hoping that, I wish her luck with her career, but I love you on the show too much to let you
Yeah.
start a music career.
I think they
Or
were
balance it out.
Exactly. I think, by killing her, she's not completely gone off the show. They can bring her, because she's a witch. Like, they
Right.
can find a way to bring her back.
If Silas
If they
can come
want to.
back as Stefan, Bonnie can come back.
Bonnie can come. That's a great point.
I still have
Yeah.
hope for Alaric. Hopefully his show, whatever show he went on to, it was canceled. Well,
Yeah.
what was it, Cult? Was he
Yeah,
in Cult?
yeah.
Which got canceled.
canceled.
So hopefully he can come back
Yeah,
to Vampire
bring her
Diaries.
back. I'm ready for him.
So Alaric saves Damon, gets the cure back. Damon, like Jillian said, gave it to Elena, and then Elena goes to talk to Stefan and breaks up with Stefan indefinitely. Gives him the cure and is like,
That's the best way to do it, too. Here's something everybody wants. I don't love you, but here's this.
And he was like, everything I did was for you to have that, and now you're giving it to me, like. Oh, but then to hear, and I know while everyone was so happy and excited, I was just crushed to hear Elena and Damon going back and forth about why they're not sorry and how they're truly in love with each other. And it was just like, I can just imagine.
Yeah, Damon was apologizing.
The Elena fans.
For his decisions that hurt her, but she was like, "You're the one who made me feel most alive when I was dead."
So there you guys go. You guys got it. Congratulations. You got the Damon story.
But what Stefan says
Poor
was
Stefan.
so, he was like, "I'm not happy about Elena, but I'm not happy for you either."
Great. That, though, was a great moment for them. Because you've kind of really never, you knew that they felt like they always had to be brothers, but that was a good moment for Stefan, especially a good growth for him, to kind of be able to look at his brother and say, at the end of the day, as much as this is hurting me, finally you found somebody.
Yeah.
So.
Damon's always been second, so if he's just first for these last few minutes of this finale, I'm sure things will change next season, but he got his moment. So, we'll see.
And Stefan sure didn't. Stefan got killed, got replaced.
He got salt
replaced
in the
so many.
wound.
I mean, dang, kick a dude while he's down.
And no one's going to be looking for him because no one's in love with him anymore. And everyone's going their separate ways for the summer. Everyone seems to have other plans.
Great loophole, though, with the writers as far as Silas and Bonnie dying and the curse being broken.
Yeah.
Great loophole. That was a pretty epic one.
I don't know how you guys think of this stuff. It's brilliant.
I really don't. Because y'all just be sometimes I'm like, do you just write ideas in a bowl and like just pull them out the fishbowl?
Yeah, because I mean, you would think out of all the people in the world.
Who's Silas gonna be? Stefan.
Now, how can we make that
Yep.
happen?
Actually, that's a really kind of good idea.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Let's write later. But I mean, of all the people in the world, we cannot predict this show because I read what people think is going to happen, and no one's ever right.
Yep. And we were dead set at 40 minutes into it. We were like, oh, we know how this is going to
Yeah,
end.
we got this. Okay.
Nope. Sure didn't. Because at one point I was kind of like, technically, honestly, and it scared me because I was like, this can't. Part of me was kind of like, I hope they don't just end Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know it's getting picked up and originals will be right after it. But the way they ended it could kind of be, well, we got everything we wanted.
Yeah.
You know, Stefan is always the loner, and now he's really the loner. You know, and really it would just leave the whole the whole Silas thing open. Other than that, everything's kind of wrapped up in a nice little bow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting to see everyone coming back next season.
Yeah, and what happened over summer?
Yeah, and
Bonnie's
growth.
away, quote unquote, spending the summer away, and Rebekah and Matt are going on a love adventure.
Yeah, Bonnie and Jeremy got their kiss in. And it'll be really awesome to see Elena's reaction to Jeremy being
She's
back.
going to be reading that letter that he left her, and
She's going to go through it, and then he's going to show up. Is this real? Is this real?
Let's just film it now. We got this. We're going to do episode 1, AFTERBUZZ style. This is what happens next season.
And so I guess on that note, let's head into predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
So the only one that was worse at being a vampire other than Elena was Stefan, and he kind of proves it at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
That he was kind of bad.
All right, well, let's start with that prediction. Stefan.
What's going to happen with Stefan? Whew, geez, I really don't think, how can he survive that?
Well, can vampires drown?
That's a good question. I don't know.
So I don't know about that one. Should have asked Jillian.
Jillian!
I feel like there's no way, and I said the same thing about Jeremy, and look, now Jeremy's back.
Yeah.
There's no way Jeremy was going to die. There's no way Stefan is going to be dead. There's no way. I don't believe it. I will not believe it. You'd have to prove it to me, Vampire Diaries, and don't do that. And I also believe there's no way Bonnie's fully dead.
No,
She
not
has
fully.
to come back. Whether it's towards the end of next season or mid-season, Bonnie has to come back. They need a witch. You need that other magical power.
Agreed.
Okay, obviously we're going to get Tyler back.
Yeah, and I'm sad. Klaus is going to be away,
Klaus is
but
going to be away. I'm going to be
hopefully we'll get
very
voicemails.
interested. I'm very interested in how the two kind of bounce. I wonder if Rebekah and Matt will make appearance on the originals
On their
as
trip.
a part of their trip.
that would be great. Or at least the end of their trip. Oh, wait, guys, we're just
It
passing
just felt
through.
like stop. We got 3 kids now, and we're just doing fine. They got like a big RV.
That would be amazing. Well, Stefan did mention going to Portland. I've never been to Portland, so I don't know what that was. That was really random, but I feel like Vampire Diaries doesn't do that. So maybe he'll float his way to Portland. Does that query extend out?
Did you see the safe that he was in? There's no
but
way
he can
that's.
wash up on shore somewhere.
Girl, that is going straight down and sitting there until
Come on.
someone finds him.
That's my prediction.
Which will be
Let me
really
have it.
interesting to see how they could ever find him.
I don't know. I mean,
know.
well, Damon does know that he was going there to drop Silas off. I don't know what Silas is going to do with the vehicle, but they'll figure it out and they'll
There's
go back
no way
there.
that they're going to let Silas play Stefan for too long.
No.
Because, I mean, everyone knows Stefan's personality.
Yeah.
And unless Silas is like, okay, I need to play this, for a while, that's a lot of practice and researching he would have to do.
And hopefully Katherine will have some babies.
And Katherine, I really do hope that all of next season Katherine is a human.
Yeah, that will be amazing.
And bonds with Elena.
You know what she did say at the end of this episode? You know what? I never got to graduate like you did. I never got to do any of that. So here you go, Katherine.
There you go. Very interesting. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us all season long. Please, please, please. I mean, if you guys miss us, just go back and rewatch the episodes and then listen to AfterBuzz.
There you
You
go.
won't be able to call in, but you can still leave a little comment on our
tweet
YouTube
us.
channel. Also, make sure you guys subscribe, download, rate, and leave us a comment on our iTunes. Please, that would be the best finale gift for us. And you can hit us up at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You guys can talk to me about Vampire Diaries, the originals. Or just say hi to me on Twitter at DJ Jesse J.
And at Cinematic Escape for me. And you can also Bing my blog, Cinematic Escape. And I just wrote a post about dating, which has a lot to do with this show. So go
make
check
sure you
that
go
out.
check out her blog. Until next season and the originals, because we're going to get that covered for you guys too. Buzz you
Bye,
later.
guys.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only
I'm
and do
Sir
not
Richard
necessarily reflect
Wentworth,
the
and
views
this has been a Brown People presentation of Edition.
See
AfterBuzz TV.
you later.
Bye. See you later, guys.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.